fact is that my message to Congress is this. This is the strongest bill you can pass to lower inflation, cut the deficit, reduce health care costs, tackle the climate crisis, and promote energy security, all the time while reducing the burdens facing working class and middle class families. So pass it. Pass it for the American people. Pass it for America.
Welp, Joe Biden is eating his words because the president is now admitting he misnamed the Inflation Reduction Act, saying yesterday, "I wish I hadn't called it that. It has less to do with reducing inflation than it does providing for alternatives that generate economic growth." And so we're now in a situation where if you take a look at what we're doing in the Inflation Reduction Act, we're literally reducing the cost of people being able to meet their basic needs. Even when there is inflation, there is a way to provide breathing room, end quote. For more on this, let's bring in Kevin Hassett, former chair of the Council of Economic Advisors and author of The Drift, Stop America's Slide into Socialism. Kevin, good to see you. So it's interesting. We have Joe Biden lying to the American people that we're going to pass this massive bill to reduce inflation, which you and I have talked about doesn't reduce inflation at all. But now he comes clean and says, yeah, no, it's not about inflation. It's actually really about a Green New Deal.
Well, first I got to say that I, have a little bit more respect for the president today because he's admitted that he was radically wrong, and a lot of times politicians just won't do that, and it's probably a moment of weakness. But the thing that I think that what this exposes more than anything is the lack of any process in the White House. So basically, there's some Svengali, managing the White House and deciding everything, and they don't go through the normal process because they have, some economists over there in the White House, so they have something called the staff secretary process, where if the president says something, it has to be approved by experts. And so calling it the Inflation Reduction Act is ridiculous. Even if you look at the way he's describing it now, they're giving money to people, which drives up demand, which drives up inflation. And so it should never have been called that. And it wouldn't be called that if this is a White House that had normal process. It's just that the press doesn't scrutinize them at all.
But it wouldn't have been called that because most people wouldn't have voted for a bill by some other name because inflation was sky high at that point, and to have a bill spending money to reduce inflation, that's actually something that the American people could get behind, even though that wasn't what the bill was going to do. So it was basically a bait and switch on the American people. Tell you I'm going to do one thing, but I'm going to do something completely opposite.
You're right, and in fact, the one Inflation Reduction Act that we've had is basically Speaker McCarthy's deal over the debt limit, where we cut spending a couple trillion. That's absolutely 100% an Inflation Reduction Act. Everybody learns that in freshman macroeconomics, and they learn that in freshman macroeconomics because it's obvious and it's true. And so, yeah, I think the name is really unfortunate. It's one of the worst names, I think, that I've ever seen economically because it's just, they got everything backwards. They got the sign wrong. And so I think at least, there's one thing, and that's that he's admitting that it was wrong.
Well, he was wrong, and it had nothing to do with reducing inflation. It was driving inflation. I want to pivot with you because so many voters right now will tell you that they're worse off today than they were 5 years ago. Bidenomics actually doesn't work. It's not making people's lives better. There's a debate coming up in a couple weeks here on Fox News. This is an issue that is at the top of voters' minds. How should the GOP candidates be talking about the economy, talking about Joe Biden, talk about spending? How should they be addressing this on the stage at that debate?
Right. Well, what I would do is I would start with talking about inflation. And the way I would talk about inflation, I would say that basically prices are about 20% higher now than they were when Biden took office. And so what that means is that if you spend $50,000 a year on your family, that you got to spend $10,000 more per year. And that's a lot of money. And unless your income went up by $10,000, you're worse off under Joe Biden. I would remind them of that. And then the second thing I'd remind them of is that we've had a debt downgrade. And it's because Biden is spending like crazy. It's as if he handed the nation's credit card to Hunter, and Hunter's gone on a bender. Right now you look at the CBO, and they're saying that we're going to be worse than Weimar Germany in just a few years. And so I would talk a lot about the fact that the credit rating went down because basically, think about it. If the U.S.'s credit rating goes down, then that means yours went down too, Sean, right? Because you're an American, you're a person who earns money in dollars. People who are going to lend money to you from around the world are now more wary of you because of what Joe Biden's done.
So on that point, you wrote a piece on investors losing confidence in the U.S. dollar as the world reserve currency. Tell us about the piece.
Yeah, so it's in National Review, it's in the next issue, and you can also find it online. And the point of the piece is that if you look at just the current trajectory of spending, then the U.S. is on a collision path with default. And what usually happens, and I did a lot of historical research for this article, going all the way back to Dionysius of Syracuse, who basically, on penalty of death, had everybody hand their coins in, and he changed all the numbers. He changed ones to twos and so on, and he paid his debt back with the inflated currency. And that's basically, if you look at what's going on, especially if the Democrats are in control, the only way out, because they're not going to be able to reduce spending a lot, right? I mean, there's just nothing. They're probably not going to absolutely default. And so what they're going to do is they're going to print money and inflate the debt away. And the Fed is helping them do that. And it's a reason why, even though there was sort of a tame inflation number this week, you shouldn't believe it in the long run. This is going to look like the 70s. Inflation goes up, inflation goes down, inflation goes up again. And we're about to see it up again, I think, in August. But the reason is that until you fix the problem of runaway fiscal spending, then inflation's still going to be lurking in the background and waiting to bite us.
Well, that's a good point. We're $32 trillion in debt. We have so many unfunded liabilities, so many unfunded promises to so many Americans. I think in 10 years, we're going to be at $42 trillion in debt. The Fed has reserves of $9 trillion they've created over the last, 12 years. That's why I have taken a portion of my portfolio and I have Bitcoin, Ethereum, and gold, which is a way to hedge against what the Fed is doing with, and by the way, the Democrats are doing with all this spending. Quick, your take. Am I crazy?
Right,
Am I crazy, Kevin?
And that's like the final conclusion of my piece. Yeah, the gold and Bitcoin are the way to protect your money right now.
See, I'm taking your advice even before you gave it, Kevin Hassett. That's wonderful. I'm mind melding with you. Kevin Hassett, always great. Thanks for joining me. Appreciate it.